Welcome to a place where learning English is not only easy and enjoyable, but also accessible to everyone. My name is Arthur, and I am truly excited to be your guide on this fantastic journey toward mastering the English language. Whether you are just starting your English learning adventure or looking to enhance your conversation skills, you have come to the right place, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Today, we are going to dive into a very important question that many aspiring learners ask. Can you really speak English fluently in just 5 months? The answer is a resounding yes. With the right approach, a bit of determination, and consistent practice, you absolutely can achieve fluency in a relatively short time. I will walk you through a series of essential steps that will help make this goal a reality. By the end of our lesson today, you will have a clearer understanding of what it truly means to be fluent in English. You will learn how to reach that level of proficiency and how to make the most of your study time for maximum effectiveness. The Adventures of Verbs, A Journey Through Grammar. Chapter 1. The Origin of Action. Discovering what verbs are in a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills, Mia, a young aspiring writer, sat in her cozy attic, surrounded by crumpled papers and half-finished stories. The evening sun streamed through the window, casting a warm glow over her cluttered desk. But despite the beauty around her, Mia felt a growing frustration. Her words seemed flat and uninspired, lacking the life and movement she desperately sought. As she stared at the blank page before her, a soft, shimmering light began to flicker in the corner of her room. With a start, Mia turned to see a tiny figure hovering above her desk. It was Vero, the guardian of verbs, a creature no taller than her hand, with wings that sparkled like stardust. "Greetings, Mia," Vero chimed, his voice like the tinkling of bells. "You seem troubled. What is it that weighs on your mind?" Mia sighed, looking down at her empty page. "I want to tell a story, but I don't know how to make it come alive. It feels like something is missing." With a knowing smile, Vero flitted closer. "Ah, but dear Mia, the secret lies in verbs. They are the heart of your sentences, pumping life into your words and carrying action, thoughts, and states of being." With a wave of his hand, the room filled with dancing words, swirling around her in a joyful chaos. Mia watched as words like run, jump, think, and be twirled through the air, each glowing with its own vibrant color. "Imagine a world without run," Vero mused, "where no one could move, where stories were stagnant. Or think of is, without it, we could not express existence. Verbs connect nouns, the actors of your tales, with their actions, emotions, and states of being." Mia's eyes widened in realization. She had never truly understood the power of verbs. They were not just words. They were the essence of expression, the driving force behind every sentence she wanted to create. Inspired, she felt a surge of excitement. "Let's embark on this journey together, Vero. Teach me about verbs." Chapter 2. The Cast of Verbs. types and traits. Vero clapped his hands, and suddenly the world around Mia shifted. They were transported to a bustling village, alive with energy and filled with vibrant characters, each embodying a different type of verb. The streets were lined with colorful houses, and the air buzzed with laughter and shouts of action. "Welcome to the Verb Village," Vero announced. "Here, you will meet the main characters of our story." Action verbs. The doers. As they walked through the village square, Mia spotted a group of energetic figures zipping about, run, jump, dance, and sing. They were full of life, each one bursting with enthusiasm. "These are the action verbs," Vero explained. "They are the doers, the ones who make things happen," Mia observed Run, who dashed past her in a blur. "What's your secret?" she called out. "I bring movement." "Without me, stories would be stagnant," Run replied, panting slightly but smiling. Vero gestured towards Wright, who sat at a small table, quill in hand. "Some action verbs can stand alone, like she sings," Vero said, pointing to the lively sing spinning around them. "Others need an object to complete their action, like she sings a song." Mia practiced the sentences, feeling the energy of the action verbs infuse her thoughts with excitement. Linking verbs, the connectors. Next, Vero led Mia to a quieter part of the village where she met the calm linking verbs, is, seem, and become. They lounged peacefully on soft cushions, sipping tea. "We may not move much," is said, smiling gently, "but we connect subjects to additional information. For example, he is happy tells you not just who he is, but how he feels." Mia nodded, realizing how essential linking verbs were for providing context and depth. She practiced connecting subjects with linking verbs, feeling a sense of completeness in her sentences. Auxiliary, helping, verbs, the sidekicks. Vero then introduced Mia to the auxiliary verbs, who were gathered in a cozy corner of the village, chatting and laughing. Be, do, and have were like loyal sidekicks, always ready to lend a hand. "We help main verbs shine brighter," have exclaimed. "Without us, you wouldn't have complex tenses or questions." Mia watched as be transformed a simple verb into something powerful. "He has gone" wouldn't be possible without has. And "do you understand" needs do to form the question. She experimented with sentences, marveling at how auxiliary verbs added nuance and support. Modal verbs, the shapers of possibility. Finally, they arrived at a mysterious garden filled with shimmering light, where the modal verbs resided. Can, may, must, and might floated gracefully above colorful flowers, their voices soft yet powerful. "We shape possibility and add layers to your sentences," Can explained, gliding closer to Mia. "For instance, you must try conveys urgency, while you might try opens the door to choice." Mia practiced using modals, feeling the different tones shift her sentences' meanings. Each modal introduced a new layer of intent and emotion, and Mia was thrilled to wield this newfound power. Chapter 3. The Passage of Time. Understanding Verb. Tenses. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the village, Mia and Viro ventured into the kingdom of tenses. Here, time flowed like a river, and verbs revealed their connection to past, present, and future. The kingdom of simple tenses. In this realm, the king of simple tenses greeted them warmly. "Welcome, young writer. Here, clarity reigns supreme." He gestured to a grand hall filled with clocks ticking in unison. Simple present captures routines and facts, he explained, showing Mia examples like I read every day. Simple past governs completed actions, he continued, as in I read yesterday. And simple future reigns over predictions, like I will read tomorrow. Mia practiced the simple tenses, feeling a sense of structure and clarity in her sentences. The king smiled, pleased with her progress. The land of progressive tenses. As they left the hall, they entered the land of progressive tenses, where everything was in motion. Mia watched as verbs danced, their movements flowing seamlessly from one to the next. Here, Viro said, we focus on ongoing actions. For example, I am reading captures an action happening right now. Mia joined in the dance, trying sentences like, she was cooking and they are playing. The progressive tenses brought a sense of immediacy and excitement to her writing, and she felt the rhythm of the words come alive. The realm of perfect and perfect progressive tenses. Their final stop was the realm of perfect and perfect progressive tenses. The wise queen of perfect tenses welcomed them with a knowing smile. In this realm, we connect actions across time, she explained. The perfect tenses link past actions to the present, as in, I have read the book, she said, demonstrating the flow of time. And the perfect progressive tenses show actions that continue up to a specific point, like I have been reading for 2 hours. Mia marveled at how the perfect tenses allowed her to explore the complexities of time in her narratives. She practiced weaving these tenses into her writing, excited by the depth they added to her stories. Chapter 4. The Choice of Voice. Active and Passive Expressions. With the lessons learned, Mia and Viro traveled to a picturesque crossroads, the land of voice. Here, she discovered that verbs could travel 2 distinct paths, active and passive. Active voice gives your sentences energy and directness, Viro explained, gesturing to a heroic scene unfolding nearby. The knight slays the dragon. Mia felt the immediacy of the action and the thrill of the hero's bravery. In contrast, Viro continued, the passive voice shifts the focus. The object becomes the star of the sentence, as in, the dragon is slain by the knight. Mia practiced both styles, enjoying the power of choice. She understood that while active voice creates excitement, passive voice can be used to emphasize the outcome or shift the focus. She jotted down sentences in her notebook. eager to experiment with both voices in her stories. Chapter 5. The Moods of Verbs. Emotions and Expressions. Their journey then led them to the Valley of Moods, a vibrant landscape filled with colorful flowers that swayed in the breeze. Each flower represented a different mood, revealing the intention behind words. Indicative mood. The mood of reality. In this realm, we speak of facts and reality, Viro said, pointing to a flower that stood tall and firm. Verbs in the indicative mood assert reality, like she sings beautifully. Mia practiced stating facts with confidence, her sentences becoming clearer and more assertive. She realized how powerful straightforward statements could be in storytelling. Imperative mood, the mood of command. As they walked deeper into the valley, they encountered the sharp, commanding flowers of the imperative mood. Here, verbs take on authority, giving instructions or requests, Viro explained. Sit down. Listen closely. The imperative is direct, conveying urgency, he urged. Mia felt the strength in her words as she practiced crafting commands. She knew these could be powerful tools in her writing, instilling a sense of immediacy and purpose. Subjunctive mood. The mood of possibility. Finally, they arrived at the whimsical area where dreams and wishes blossomed. The flowers here swayed in a gentle breeze, symbolizing the possibilities of the subjunctive mood. If I were rich, I would travel the world, Mia stated, envisioning her dreams. Viro smiled. This mood explores hypotheticals and possibilities, hinting at hope and regret. Use it to express what could be. As Mia crafted sentences in the subjunctive mood, she felt her imagination expand, allowing her to explore worlds beyond her own. Chapter 6. Verbals. The transformative shapes of verbs. As their adventure continued, Mia and Viro entered the enchanted forest, where the trees whispered secrets of verbals, a unique class of verb forms, gerunds, when verbs masquerade as nouns. Here we meet gerunds, Viro explained, as they approached a sparkling pool of water. These are verbs that act like nouns. Swimming is fun, for instance. Mia dipped her toes into the water, contemplating how she could use gerunds to add variety to her writing. Infinitives, the root form of the verb. They then came across a magnificent archway adorned with flowers. This is the realm of infinitives, Viro said. These are the root forms of verbs, often expressing purpose. To dance is to live. Mia practiced forming sentences with infinitives, feeling the elegance of their simplicity. Participles, the shapeshifters. Finally, they encountered the shape-shifting participles who twirled and transformed before Mia's eyes. Participles can describe or complete verbs, Viro explained. For example, the broken vase. Here, broken acts as an adjective. Mia marveled at how participles added richness and detail to her descriptions, allowing her to paint vivid images in her reader's mind. Chapter 7. Verb Agreement. Harmony in Grammar. With newfound knowledge, Mia and Viro arrived at the Harmony Bridge, where verb agreement was the cornerstone of clarity in language. Here, verbs learn to match their form with their subject, Viro explained, gesturing to a sign that read, "The cat purrs and the cats purr." Mia listened intently as Viro continued. Singular subjects require singular verbs, while plural subjects take plural verbs. But be wary. Compound subjects, collective nouns, and indefinite pronouns can present challenges. They practiced together, Mia becoming adept at subject-verb agreement, feeling the balance and clarity it brought to her sentences. Chapter 8. The Trials of Irregular Verbs. Breaking the Rules. Their journey then led them to the trials of irregular verbs, where Mia faced a unique challenge. She encountered a group of verbs that refused to follow the usual patterns: go, see, and take. Each has its own past forms, Viro said, watching as Mia wrestled with the irregulars. These verbs add color and require memorization, but they also bring depth to your language. With Viro's guidance, Mia learned to recognize common irregulars and began to memorize their unique personalities. It was a difficult task, but she embraced the challenge, knowing that mastering these verbs would enhance her storytelling. Chapter 9. Advanced Verb Usage, the Art of Subtlety. As their adventure drew to a close, Viro led Mia to the Gallery of Advanced Usage, where she discovered the subtleties of verbs. Causative verbs, indirect instructions. Here we explore causative verbs, Viro said, gesturing to a painting that depicted indirect actions. Words like have, make, and get give instructions indirectly. For example, she had him fix the car. Mia practiced crafting sentences with causative verbs, relishing the layers of meaning they added. Conditionals, possible scenarios. They moved on to the wall of conditionals, where vibrant scenarios danced in front of them. Conditionals allow us to discuss if-then statements, from simple facts to imaginary possibilities, Viro explained. Mia felt exhilarated as she wrote conditionals, allowing her imagination to explore different outcomes. Emphatic forms, adding emphasis. Lastly, they reached the section on emphatic forms, where verbs took on a powerful presence. To emphasize a statement, we sometimes use do or does, Viro noted. For instance, I do understand conveys strength. Mia practiced using emphatic forms, enjoying the intensity they brought to her writing. Epilogue. Mastery through practice. As their adventure came to an end, Mia and Viro returned to her attic, now filled with ideas and inspiration. The shimmering words of verbs danced around her, filling the room with energy and possibility. Now it's time to practice, Viro said, his voice warm and encouraging. Identifying verbs, choosing the correct tense, and applying voice and mood will lead you to mastery. Mia eagerly grabbed her notebook, ready to experiment with the knowledge she had gained. She filled the pages with sentences that flowed with action and emotion. her confidence growing with each word. A final reflection. Mia gazed out of her window at the setting sun, feeling grateful for her journey through the land of verbs. Understanding verbs was like unlocking the vocabulary of action, intention, and emotion in language. With her new skills, she felt empowered to tell stories that resonated with life and depth. With Vero by her side, she was ready to embrace the world of grammar, transforming her writing into vibrant tales that would capture hearts and imaginations. Additionally, we will address some common myths and misconceptions about learning languages that might be holding you back. Together, we will uncover practical and effective methods that can significantly boost your language learning journey and help you succeed in speaking English confidently and fluently. What does it mean to be fluent? First, let's clarify what fluency really means in the context of learning a language. Many people hold the misconception that being fluent in a language equates to speaking it perfectly, just like a native speaker would. However, that's not entirely accurate. Fluency does not require perfection. Instead, it emphasizes the ability to communicate effectively and naturally. This means expressing your thoughts and ideas without excessive pauses or hesitations that disrupt the flow of conversation. Imagine a river flowing smoothly. That is how fluency feels in a language. When you are fluent, your words come out effortlessly, and you don't have to stop and think too hard before speaking. To be more specific, being fluent in English means you can express yourself easily and clearly, conveying your message without struggling to find the right words. When you achieve fluency, you will feel a newfound confidence in sharing your thoughts and opinions, even if you make some mistakes along the way. You can engage in regular conversations about everyday topics, such as discussing your day, asking for directions, or sharing your hobbies and interests. It's important to remember that even native speakers make mistakes from time to time. The most critical aspect of fluency is communication itself. If you can clearly express your ideas and understand others in conversation, you are indeed fluent. It's perfectly fine if you don't know every word, or if you make a few grammatical errors. What truly matters is your ability to convey your message effectively. Our goal is not to achieve perfection, but to communicate naturally and effectively, fostering meaningful interactions with others. Becoming fluent in 5 months. Now that we have a clear understanding of what fluency means, let's discuss how you can actually become fluent in English within 5 months. You might be wondering if that is truly possible, and the good news is it absolutely is. However, reaching this goal requires dedication, focus, and the right methods tailored to your learning style. First, let's dispel a common myth that often confuses learners. The amount of time you spend learning a language is not the only factor that determines how quickly you can achieve fluency. It's not merely about counting the months or years you study. Rather, it's about how effectively you utilize that time. For instance, consider this. Someone who practices for 2 hours every day for 5 months can achieve fluency much faster than someone who studies only once a week for 5 years. This comparison highlights the importance of engaging consistently with the language. It's crucial to strike a balance between both the quality and quantity of your practice. Effective learning isn't just about clocking in hours. It involves actively using the language in various contexts, engaging in conversations, and immersing yourself in the culture. By prioritizing regular, focused practice sessions filled with diverse activities, such as speaking, listening, reading, and writing, you can significantly accelerate your learning process and make substantial progress toward fluency in a relatively short time. How much time should you invest? So, how much time do you actually need to invest to become fluent in English within 5 months? A good rule of thumb is to aim for approximately 600 hours of focused practice. While this number may initially sound daunting, let's break it down to make it more approachable. If you commit to studying for a total of 600 hours over the course of 5 months, you would need to practice about 20 hours each week. This translates to roughly 4 hours of practice every day. If you are serious about learning English quickly and effectively, daily practice is key to your success. You might be thinking that studying for 4 hours a day feels overwhelming, but the great news is that you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can break your practice into smaller, manageable sessions throughout your day, making it easier to incorporate into your routine. For example, consider this daily schedule. Morning. Start your day by spending an hour listening to an English podcast while you enjoy your breakfast. This not only improves your listening skills, but also helps you absorb the language in a relaxed setting. Lunchtime. Dedicate 30 minutes during your lunch break to review vocabulary or read a short article in English. This brief session can reinforce what you learned in the morning and keep the language fresh in your mind. Evening. Set aside 45 minutes to watch an English TV show or a YouTube video, focusing on understanding the dialogue. Engaging with authentic content can enhance your comprehension skills and expose you to different accents and cultural nuances. Night. Conclude your day with another 45 minutes of practice, where you can work on speaking by repeating phrases, practicing pronunciation, or having conversations with yourself, friends, or online language partners. This active use of the language solidifies your learning and builds your confidence. By breaking up your study time into these smaller, manageable sessions, you make it easier to integrate learning into your daily life. This approach not only prevents burnout, but also allows you to consistently engage with English, setting you on the path to fluency. Focusing on quality practice. While the amount of time you spend learning is important, the quality of that time is even more crucial. You could listen to English passively for hours, but if you're not engaged, it won't be as effective. Instead, try to focus on active learning during your practice time. Here are some tips to maximize the quality of your learning. Active listening. Don't just let English play in the background. Pay attention to what you're hearing. Try to understand what's being said and notice how sentences are structured. Repeat key phrases out loud to practice your pronunciation. Comprehensible input. Choose materials that are appropriate for your skill level. They should challenge you without being too difficult. If you're watching a TV show and only understand 10% of the words, it's likely too advanced for you. Speaking practice. Speaking is essential for developing fluency. Reading and listening are important, but they alone won't help you become fluent. Find a language partner or tutor to practice speaking with, or talk to yourself. Speaking out loud helps you build the confidence and muscle memory needed to communicate naturally. Emotional engagement. The more you enjoy your learning process, the faster you'll improve. Choose topics that interest you. Watch your favorite movies in English, read about your hobbies, or listen to music in English. The vocabulary you need. One common myth about achieving fluency is the belief that you need to know thousands of words to communicate effectively. In reality, you only need to master around 4,000 common words to hold meaningful, everyday conversations. Most daily discussions revolve around familiar and relatable topics, such as the weather, food, work, and hobbies. By focusing on these practical subjects, you can build a solid foundation for your conversational skills. It's important to understand that you don't need to learn complex vocabulary or specialized jargon to engage in normal conversations. Instead, prioritize the most commonly used words and phrases first, as these will be the building blocks of your interactions. For example, learning how to talk about your daily routine, express your opinions, and ask questions will significantly enhance your ability to communicate with others. As you become more comfortable with these foundational words, you can gradually expand your vocabulary to include less common terms and expressions. This incremental approach allows you to build your confidence and comprehension without feeling overwhelmed. Additionally, immersing yourself in various contexts, such as watching movies, reading books, or engaging in conversations, will naturally introduce you to new vocabulary as you progress. Remember, the goal is to communicate effectively, not to impress others with an extensive vocabulary. By focusing on the words that matter most in everyday situations, you can quickly improve your fluency and enjoy more meaningful interactions in English. The power of listening. Listening is a powerful tool for learning English. When you listen, you are not only learning new words, but also training your ear to recognize the natural rhythm and flow of the language. This is critical for achieving fluency. Spend as much time as possible listening to English. You can listen to podcasts, audiobooks, TV shows, or music. The more you listen, the more you'll start to pick up how native speakers connect their words, which will help improve your speaking skills. But remember, it's not enough to just listen passively. You need to engage actively with what you hear. Pay attention to pronunciation, sentence structures, and how native speakers express themselves in different situations. Speaking with confidence. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back. Many learners are afraid to speak because they don't want to sound silly or make errors. However, Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. In fact, making mistakes helps you improve. Think about how babies learn to speak. They make countless mistakes, but they keep trying until they become fluent. You should adopt the same mindset. Don't hesitate to speak, even if you're not completely confident in your grammar or pronunciation. To build your confidence, start practicing in a low-pressure environment. Talk to yourself in English at home, practice with friends, or use language apps to chat with people worldwide. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. Repetition is key. Consider learning English like training for a sport. If you want to excel in a sport, you must practice regularly and with intensity. Language learning requires the same dedication. You should practice new skills repeatedly until they become second nature. Use spaced repetition to help you remember new information effectively. Here's how you can incorporate repetition into your daily English practice. Review vocabulary regularly. Every day, go over the words and phrases you learned the day before. You can use flashcards or language apps. Use new words in sentences. As soon as you learn a new word, try using it in sentences throughout your day. For example, if you learn the word opportunity, say things like, "This is a great opportunity to learn English." Practice speaking. Out loud. Don't just think in English, speak it. This helps you get used to the sound of your own voice in English and builds confidence. Revisit old lessons. As you learn, go back to previous lessons and review them. Language learning isn't linear, and revisiting material helps reinforce your understanding. Engage with an English-speaking community. Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, there are numerous ways to find communities that use English. One effective strategy is to look for local language meetup or conversation groups in your area. These gatherings often bring together individuals who are eager to practice their language skills, providing a supportive environment where you can engage in real conversations. In addition to in-person meetup, online platforms offer a wealth of opportunities for connecting with English speakers. Consider joining language exchange programs or utilizing language apps like Tandem or HelloTalk. These tools can help you connect with native speakers who are just as eager to practice your language as you are to practice English. Such interactions are vital for building your confidence and improving your speaking skills. Engaging with an English-speaking community allows you to immerse yourself in the language, gain exposure to different accents and speaking styles, and learn colloquial expressions that may not be covered in textbooks. Regular practice in a conversational setting can significantly enhance your fluency and help you feel more comfortable expressing yourself in English. Don't hesitate to take the initiative. Start conversations, ask questions, and be an active participant in these communities. Each interaction is a valuable opportunity for growth, and the connections you make can lead to lasting friendships and a deeper appreciation for the language and culture. Embrace these opportunities to practice and improve your English, and watch your confidence soar. Final thoughts. Achieving fluency in English in just 5 months is indeed possible when you adopt the right mindset and employ effective methods. It's essential to focus on quality practice rather than just the quantity of time spent studying.